Do you hate weeaboos? Do you hate how Japan still tries to make games while people outside of that pathetic country are getting quality titles that will be remembered till humanity dies? Do you wish that Japan will just bow down and be more like us Westerners? Then buddy, I got a game just for you. Devil Kings is a hack and slash game made by the same company that makes good games, but you'd wish they just fuck off and never come back. This is a first game in a franchise that no one cares about, except they made a localization of it that fits right into our own standards. Gone is the setting of Sengoku Jidai, as we instead have a patch of land that doesn't have a name, but it has places that have names. Devil Kings was made for one sole purpose, and that is to kill off Koei Tecmo's sports franchise, Dynasty Warriors. Sadly for Capcom, the only one who is able to kill off Dynasty Warriors is Koei Tecmo themselves. This game doesn't have that much story due to the fact this is primarily about satisfying the bloodlust of gamers, but you can get a sense of the story from the opening. There is war and chaos running among some nameless country, and certain people with certain goals will stop at nothing to gain that power. That's all you need pretty much. The cutscenes that introduce the characters will show off their personality and their ambitions. And while there are logos of certain factions that were warring during Sengoku Jidai, the names of characters have been changed. Yukimura Sanada's new name is Scorpio. Saint Francis Xavier is now Cue Ball, and Kenshin Uesugi is now Woman. Oh wait, that's actually in the Japanese version as well. There are two main modes in this game, Conquest Mode and Free Mode. Free Mode lets you experience whichever stage you want with whatever character you'll choose. But let's get into the main course, which is the Conquest Mode. At the beginning you'll have 6 characters to choose from, with all of them being at level 1. And you also get to pick a difficulty. Another change in this localization was they made the game more harder because Japanese players are pussies when it comes to hardcore games. Now that you have started the Conquest Mode, it's time to pick your victim. The main objective of the Conquest Mode is to conquer the whole map. Whoever you choose and defeat will change the way how the game progresses. After you choose your target, the game will put you into a preparation screen, where you can select your boost attacks, weapons, and items. Once you're prepared, you can engage in the battle. Almost all of the stages have the same conditions, which are destroy the enemy and don't get killed. However, there is a level where you have to kill the enemy and protect your army, and then there is a level where you have to protect the main gate. But those are the only 2 levels with these kinds of conditions. In the battlefield, you'll encounter unique types of enemies, such as kamikaze bombers, enemies with a huge pillar that spin like a fucking retard, archers that are quite a pain to deal with, and other enemies that I don't care to mention. The main thing you'll do in this game is what the genre implies. Some critics have criticized this as it gets boring to do the same thing over and over again, which is why the original Super Mario Bros. To this day is the worst game ever, since all you do is jump. But Capcom thought about it, which is why they have introduced the Prime attacks. These attacks weaken the enemy and give you a chance to use your normal attacks so that you can cause more damage. The fans criticize this decision as it forces them to use Prime attacks if they want to fill up the Fury bar and use the Fury attack. But don't trust these fans, cause their complaints are nothing but man-child weeaboo screeching. These fans are the type of people to complain about so-called mediocrity instead of just mindlessly consuming. Who cares if Nagashino was changed to Deadwood? You weebs are nitpicking and biased. Anyway, the characters in the game are mostly mediocre. Scorpio is a generic shonen protagonist who wields 2 spears that are on fire, and his name is a reference to a favorite pastime of Western white women. Devil King is the best character in this game, as he wields both a sword and a shotgun and has the best combo attacks. Azure Dragon is fan favorite because he's just Dante from Devil May Cry. Lady Butterfly wields guns, but is the weakest character out of them all. She's pretty much the definition of playing with fire, and that's why when you master her, you'll understand how pretty good she is, even if she's just a prototype for the best girl in the Sengoku Basara franchise. Red Minotaur is a giant axe-wielding warrior who is nothing special, just like his student. Venus is the second best waifu in the Basara franchise. She uses throwing stars to destroy her enemies, as well as letting them discover that they have a foot fetish. Cue Ball, Talon, and Hornet are mediocre. Frost is a woman disguising herself as a man, so take that however you want. Puff is the worst character out of them all. The only purpose for her existence is to bait out lolicons who are from Texas. Lastly, there's Ironox, who is a giant walking Gundam. With this character, you'll eviscerate whoever crosses your path. The only thing Ironox can't do is get on a horse, as this is a social commentary on gluttony and fast food industry that causes many people in the United States to die from obesity. In short, the gameplay is not bastardized at all. And the only people who complain are those who will fail to breed due to their obsession with anime. The graphics are okay, but don't push the limits of PlayStation 2's capabilities. The music is fantastic in both versions, and the sound design is whatever. As for the voice acting, it's not good, but it will make you think they didn't even try, and it's still better than listening to some language that many associate with degeneracy. Devil Kings shows how Japanese can make good games if they try. It was the first step for Capcom into becoming a company with fantastic titles. Unfortunately, they heard the weebs and decided it was better to show off their unique approach to making games. But it does seem like they're attempting to do it again, and I hope they stick with it, and I hope other Japanese companies will follow in their steps. I can assure you that modern westernization doesn't kill art, and in fact makes it better. And don't bother playing any of the Sengoku Basara games, as they're not the true representation of what gaming should be. Make sure to engage with the algorithm so that my video gets more popular and I can become yet another soulless influencer that shills for mediocre shit. That's it, go get some rest.